And a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, director at WEIU. Today, we're talking to Rachel and Jason Duhamell. They are the owners of Plant Some Kindness, a very cool, small business success story here in Coles County. They reside in Mattoon, and it's kind of a neat story, and it was some of the how it all happened. And so we're a little bit of a different take today on Issues and Attitudes. But it should be fun. So thanks for coming, Jason and Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So why don't you give us a little bit of background, and then we'll get into some details of Plant Some Kindness.
Sure. So we started our business in 2022. We are both in the healthcare field. Jason went to travel nursing, and I went down to PRN at my job. I was able to do that. And so we just kind of toyed around with starting a small business. It started out as we did some succulents, some air plants, that just plants in general, I guess. And then it just kind of evolved into our pepper business today. But yeah, that's...
Are you kind of like surprised at how successful and how quick it's really caught on in this area?
We are. So in 2023 is when we realized the need and the want for specialty peppers. So we started our first part of the business. 2023 was with about 60 plants. You know, we just started concentrating on growing and realizing that we could sell seeds, sell peppers online. And it just got very, very popular. So it's just kind of snowballed every year, you know, from there, where we went from a full pepper company into a hot sauce company into now we have many, many facets of our business.
Okay. And then now that you've actually went from being a full-time nurse to part-time, is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I was able to go to part-time.
And you're still full-time.
I am.
So you really have two full-time jobs.
I do.
And that's 1.5. So how do you divide your time? I mean, you have probably, is there days off, or how's that work?
I'm working on that right now. It's a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. So I'm working, you know, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the hospital in Carl, in Urbana. And then sometimes I feel like I need to put all my off time into the business, and I don't need to do that. So just trying to find time for myself. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of sauce making, a lot of garden tending, a lot of things like that on my days off.
Okay. What are the biggest challenges of running a small business out of your house like that?
Yeah, I think finding time for yourself and finding time to step away from the business. That's probably one of, you know, my biggest things.
Balancing work and being at home and the small business. So.
But your electric bills went up, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's the ebb and always on, right?
Yeah.
Do you cook most stuff inside the kitchen, or do you cook outside, or how's that?
So we have a cottage license through the Coles County Health Department, so we can cook our product at home. Of course, we had to have all of our sauces are tested by an independent lab to make sure they're safe, and we had to follow a process with the health department. Gloria at the health department has been outstanding helping us through this. Every year we had to renew our license, so we can cook out of our home.
Okay. And then you also, obviously, as the pepper industry is really grown all over the country, but, you know, you've obviously are our hometown people. But the names of some of these products, I mean, how do you come up with this? You even had a contest once a while back, but talk about some of the names of the different things you come up with.
So I like to include the type of pepper that's in the sauce, in the name. We have a garlic serrano. We have a jaladill, which is jalapeno and dill pickles. The jalapeno verde, which is a green sauce. So sauces mostly come from, you know, honestly, all the sauce recipes and names come from my head. We brainstorm a lot. Mm-hmm. Most of them come from me. As far as our peppers, we do have 4 of our own crosses that we've created ourselves, and we're going to release those seeds this year. So we're on like the 4th version of them. We had a contest on our Facebook page to name them and just basically describe the 2 types of peppers they were made out of, and gave people the chance to come up with some names. And actually, local Charleston person wanted this.
When you say you're going to cross pepper, so you created your own pepper. What's the process like? Do you think?
So we have 2 that are manually crossed and 2 that are accidental crosses. The 2 accidental crosses just were 2 plants too close together, and then we grew them out the next season and noticed something different. The 2 that we manually crossed is actually taking a Q-tip or a paintbrush and taking the pollen from one plant, moving it to the other plant and the flowers, and then isolating the flowers.
Okay.
And then growing it out.
Rachel, did you ever dream it would be this successful and then this popular?
No, I just thought it would be a plant, like succulent air plant. And then probably in 2023 is when we realized that, well, the hot sauce business is like $1 billion business. It's like the number one condiment in America's kitchen. So we didn't really realize how big it could be until we started making sauces, and people loved it and they came back.
How do you get the word out for, Plant Some Kindness?
So we are pretty prevalent on social media. We do a lot of Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I do a lot of grow videos. Mostly my TikTok videos are, walking through the garden, discussing the peppers. We have a lot of Facebook followers. We network with other small businesses. We find out what markets they're doing, and they invite us to other markets. We talk to, all the other vendors at the markets we do, and they let us know.
So where can people see you here coming in the upcoming weeks and months of summer 2025?
So we're transitioning to the Effingham Farmers Market every Saturday from 8 to 12. So we'll be there. That'll be our guaranteed every Saturday market. We have 2 events in Monticello this season in August. One in August, one in October. Mm-hmm. And then you can go to our website, plantsomekindness.com. It has a link for our events, and we just list every place we're going to be.
Okay. Now, how many hours a week are you out in the backyard, digging and all that? I mean, do you count your hours? Or
we don't count our hours, and we haven't hit the point where we're paying ourselves yet. I mean, we could, but we're not. It's hard to say. I mean, I'm 20 hours a week probably. And it all depends on, it's week by week, depends on how much sauce we sell out of at a market or how popular the market are, how much we have to make.
Then when you think about some of the stuff, Rachel, do you try the really spicy stuff, or you want
So I'm kind of the mastermind behind the mild stuff. I am not a hot, spicy. He is.
You like that?
Yeah, I like the hot stuff. So she tells me what she wanted, and I created it. The jalapeno verde sauce is her.
That's the Owens family.
Yeah, that's her ideas. She said, make something that's not going to burn people's mouths, and see what you can do. Funny you say that. Is our 2 best-selling sauces are our hottest and our mildest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Then the total number of products that you have. I mean, I saw you have all kinds of different things. So talk about that.
So. I mostly concentrate on the sauces. So we have anywhere between 10 and 12 sauces at a time. We grow all of the peppers and just about 90% of the of the ingredients in our sauces. So we have so I make a sauce depending on what we have ripe at the time. Okay. So if I have ghost peppers ripe at the time, I'll make a ghost pepper sauce. We're also selling jellies now, and that was kind of Rachel's thing there.
Actually, it was a customer just said, have you thought about doing jellies or jams? So we like to listen to our customers and what they want. So that's how that kind of developed.
Okay. Now, one of the things I find intriguing, because in the world we live today, but you can ship stuff all over the country. Like I think you posted one time, like you up to like 40 some states that you
right. I can ship peppers and salts and seeds, but unfortunately, with our cottage license, we can only ship hot sauces within the state of Illinois.
Okay.
But our other products we can ship nationwide.
Is there rules that you had to apply? I mean, people are shipping some things.
Correct. In Illinois, there are no rules for shipping fresh peppers. Okay. We ship our peppers. We've been to all 50 states and 7 countries with peppers and seeds. There's no rules. Some states like California has rules. Of course, California has rules on shipping fresh peppers. You have to be a licensed. But with us, we ship them in priority mail boxes, small flat rate boxes, and usually 2 or 3 days, and they still arrive fresh.
What are the 7 countries you've shipped to so far? I'm putting you on the spot, but that's got
Canada, Honduras, Guatemala, Oman, Australia. What else?
Mexico.
You wouldn't think that need any of that.
You would think, right?
What do you get asked the most when you're at, when you're at a farmer's market or walking downtown or whatever
the funny thing is, we were just at Villa Pizza eating lunch, and somebody's like, "Hey, where can I get some more of that? Tears of Satan is our hottest sauce. Where can I get some more of that?" So I mean, that's pretty humbling, when somebody sees you and wants to know when you get. I think the most of the questions we asked is a lot of people walk up to the stand and they're like, let me have your hottest sauce you make. And I want to ask questions first before I just, give them the hottest sauce I make. I'm going to say, what's your heat level? And if they tell me I can take the heat, I may start mid-range, let them try something. And if they say, well, that's too hot, then I'm glad I didn't start too big.
So when you're putting this stuff together like that with a hot sauce, I mean, obviously there's what's the thing, the factor that they call it, the
Scoville unit.
Scoville unit.
Yeah.
So how do you know when you think, is it the type of pepper or the amount of pepper, or what really makes it?
It's the type of pepper, and I do I have like a head full of useless information when it comes to peppers. I research everything that I grow, so I can pretty much tell you the Scoville units on the pepper. Obviously, when you start mixing it with the vinegar and all the other ingredients, it reduces it, but I know what the pepper started at.
What's the hottest pepper that you grow?
Right, the hottest. It's subjective now. So the hottest tested pepper is the Carolina Reaper. The hottest pepper I've tasted is called a chocolate primatali, and they're pretty brutal.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you just test them, or do you try to buy on chip, or do you actually try to enjoy them, or
I do. I'm not. I don't eat whole peppers. I don't believe in that. But I just slice off a piece and try it.
Okay.
And like I said, heat's subjective, and the Scoville unit is not. But the one that's the Guinness Book of World Records pepper right now is called Pepper X, and but it's not been released to the public. So nobody can grow it. Nobody has seeds. Nobody has peppers. So to me, it's not a real thing until I can put it in the ground and grow it.
There you go. And Rachel, you're the mid-level, right? What's the hottest that you've tried then?
I'm a jalapeno girl.
Are you going to do another contest ever again? That was fun. I thought when you named the sauce, so many people were getting online and doing it.
Oh yeah, I actually have another accidental cross right now coming up that we'll have to grow it out for a couple seasons and see what it does, and then we'll definitely have another contest for naming.
So your backyard is it from one end to the other, just all plants and
correct? There's no grass.
No grass. You have to mow.
Yeah.
What do your neighbors think?
Our neighbor is a gardener also, so she comes over, and she's a retired nurse also, and she's coming over once in a while. If you need help around the garden, let me know. And she has a garden, she brings stuff over to us. So
now, do you have to be careful with when you're growing like extremely hot peppers of not to touch them with your skin, or what's the rules on that or work?
Not necessarily. Obviously, when you're handling them, cutting them open and taking the seeds out, you need to wear gloves. But just handling them, as long as the pepper's not broken. But I do find myself picking peppers and putting them in my pocket and then bending down and they're popping it.
Yeah. I wear gloves all the time.
Yeah. Now you got two sons too. So talk a little bit about their involvement in part of this family business.
Sure. Our oldest son, Nate, is the one that developed our website that we have. He maintains it. And then our youngest son, Seth, developed our logo that we have today. So.
Okay. So they're involved some. That's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
We're talking to Jason and Rachel Duhamell today from Plant Some Kindness, kind of a small business success story here in Coles County. There'll be all kinds of farmers markets for the rest of the year. You can check them out on Facebook or online if you need to. When you think about is there anything that you're looking forward to maybe, trying to expand in terms of a different type, like you said, the jellies and jams? Is there a next step of expansion of something you want to do?
I think our biggest hurdle right now is space. We have about 300 plants this year, and we're maxed out where we're at. I have a second grow location, which happens to be my mom's backyard. I haven't started that yet, but we will in the next couple years start looking for land where we could actually grow our sauce peppers. We can keep specialty peppers at the house and then grow our peppers for our sauces.
So how many different peppers like right now are in your backyard?
We have 300 plants of 130 varieties.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
But you also have some regular flowers and stuff too, correct?
Yes, we do.
There we go. It's interesting. Have you ever had an idea that you had to tell Jason, no, we were not growing that, or we're not trying that, or anything?
Well, tears.
The hottest sauce. I did not think anyone would buy it, and I was very wrong.
Tears of Satan.
Tears of Satan. So we created that a year ago, about 2 weeks ago, version 1, and she said, "Don't make that sauce. Nobody's going to buy it." And we're on version 13 right now. So I've sold about 130 bottles of it.
So you got that. Go.
Yeah.
Because if it should have been right, so Tears of Satan. See, the names are fascinating.
Yeah.
So I really think that's cool. So, so when you think about the other thing is, I guess, can people buy in bulk? Do they ever say, I want a case of something or 2 cases? Or mostly people like the seeds or how's that work?
Mostly, as far as the hot sauces, they're running, single bottles or 3 bottles at a time. I have somebody who lives in Champaign that's getting married soon that wants to buy them for party favors for
that's cool.
Her wedding party. So we're working out a deal on that. As far as seeds, we have We don't really start selling our seeds until October. We kind of hoard and save up our seeds. So when our hot sauce business and our pepper business slows down, then we start selling seeds. Last year we sold 750 packs of seeds.
Holy cow.
And we'll have more this year.
I was say your goal's got to be 1,000.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. There you go. Hot spices and all these hot shows and the hot ones and all these things around, they really have become the rage of TV and internet and stuff like that. So have you thought about doing some kind of contest or anything like that locally, or is there too much like insurance and?
Well, I mean, there'd probably be insurance involved. We can proudly say that last season we provided peppers to 2 different chili eating contests. They reached out to me.
Yeah.
Wanted 10 different types of my hottest peppers. Oh, wow. We individually bagged them up into 10 peppers. There was 10 contestants, so 10 peppers per bag, and we shipped it. One went to North Dakota, I think one went to Wisconsin. That's cool. So that was kind of cool.
Your thoughts on something like that? It's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
What is your do you have like a favorite thing that you love to grow in the backyard? Either both of you. I mean, it's something that it's your go-to.
I love flowers, so my area is the pollinator area, which also helps our peppers too, because they have to be pollinated.
I like growing habaneros. They're probably my go-to pepper just because of the flavor and they're easier to grow. I also like to experiment. I also like the very rare peppers. If I can get some seeds from something super rare, I want to try to grow it and just see what it can do.
Yeah, you led me right in the next question. Where do you get like seeds from rare peppers? Do you have to get I know you guys said there's like an interconnection of all the people that are doing this, but
there is. There's reputable seed vendors and there's ones that are not. I had, a person this year that had been in previously a very reputable vendor, and he's turned into not being one. And most of the plants that myself and several other people planted, their seeds planted this year, end up being jalapenos when they weren't supposed to be. So part of our time spent in this morning was actually pulling plants, because if I don't know what I'm growing, I don't want to grow it.
Yeah.
That's what makes a seed vendor reputable, is because you can see a picture of the seed, you can see the plant, and you know what they're growing. We are a verified seller on several Facebook groups for seeds because we can verify what we grow. So there's a lot of different seed vendors out there. Just got to do your research and get the right one.
Anything to add there?
I don't think so.
Good. When you think about this business and how it's grown, I mean, what kind of is the logical next step? I mean, for you both, I mean, are you thinking maybe at some point down the road you don't have another job, or this is your full-time job or not?
I think this could be potentially my full-time job. I don't think our cottage business, our hot sauce business, is going to expand too much more. We are a small batch craft business, and I don't want to get too big. I don't want to have to go into a commercial kitchen. I don't want to have to do that because I don't want to lose quality. Like I said, 90% of the ingredients in our sauces we grow. I mean, the only thing we're not growing right now is garlic, and we're working on that.
Oh, really?
So
why is that? That's hard to grow?
It is. It grows over the winter time, and it takes a lot of space, and space is what I do not have at this point. So yeah, I don't think our hot sauce business will grow much more, I don't believe, but our pepper business is for sure growing every year. I mean, we started with 60 plants, 150, now we're at 300.
Wow, and that's 300 you think is the max pretty much out there?
Max of this location, not the max.
So how fast can you turn over, how often does a plant or pollinate or produce, peppers? I mean, does it do it like over the summer? Will it do 4 or 5 batches, or how's that work?
It'll produce the entire summer. You want to talk about it? So we can't take vacations during the summer, not at all. We take a vacation every year in January. We actually plant our seeds somewhere around January 20th. So we start that early. Most super hot peppers, the ones that are higher in the Scovilles, take about 120 days to get to full ripe stage, and you're constantly picking on them. I mean, I have a plant that I just checked this morning, probably has 100 pods on them. They're all green. They haven't changed yet.
So how long till they become?
We'll probably be shipping fresh peppers in August, would be my guess. First part of August, yeah.
So there's a lot of different arms and entanglements to this business. It's not just growing peppers and making stuff. You got the peppers, you got the seed, you got the sauces, you got the salsas, and everything else. What do people not know about the pepper business that maybe you can share today?
What do you think? I don't think people realize the sheer amount of peppers out there. There's probably 5,000 varieties of peppers. Learning about the ones you're growing. And I don't think people understand how large the seed business is. People will buy. They want to pay for seeds. They'll pay. We charge $3 a pack for 15 seeds, and one pepper may get me 30 seeds out of it. So your profit and your business aspect is in the seeds. It's the highest labor cost, cutting the seeds open, drying them, doing all that. But there are so many different, I could have 150 types of seeds for sale.
So I have to ask, I mean, is it profitable, or you're at least at the end of the year, you're making more than you're spending, I guess, for lack of, and shipping out? I mean,
absolutely. We're proud to say that we are, 100% debt free. We haven't taken out anything. We started our account last year. We got our LLC in beginning of 2024. We opened up our business account with $20, and we've gone nowhere but up since then.
That's kind of cool, though, when you think about it. Yeah. We're talking to Jason and Rachel Duhamell today from Plant Some Kindness. What are the big? I mean, are the biggest expenses? I mean, we joked about your electric bill, with obviously watering bill. I mean, are those the two?
Soil is a big expense.
Okay.
Soil and compost. We do use our we shop local. We use DeBur's for our soil. We use Bloomfield for our compost. We get truckloads of compost from them, and we believe in helping other small businesses out. Electric bill definitely in the wintertime, because we put a heated and air conditioned unit in our garage last year so we can move our grow room out there. So we're running heat, and I'm running 6,000 watts of lights out there in grow season. So water bill is definitely elevated this time of year too.
Anything else people not know about the pepper business? I mean, from your point of view, Rachel?
I can't think. Just the amount of different peppers. That was my biggest surprise. I just didn't realize there was, I just thought, there's jalapenos and habaneros, but there's just so many to learn.
And really, if there's 5,000, there's going to be more because of all the cross,
the hybrids,
the hybrids and the cross things like that. Is there a pepper out there that you have not tried that you want to? I mean, I know you said Pepper X, but it's not available yet. Is there something else out there?
So let's see, what have I not tried? Oh, I'm growing one this year. It's called Starscream. There's a prominent grower. His name's Matthew Arthur. He grows some really weird crosses, and I actually got some growing this year. They're tough to grow. There's another one called a 7-pot evergreen. It's a super huge, like, green pepper, like looks like a bell pepper almost. Yeah. But it's a super hot pepper, and they're very, very difficult to germinate. Mine didn't germinate this year, so I'll have to try again next year.
I was just going to ask you also, like, do you have like friends in the business that you're having trouble growing something, or for some reason this plant didn't take, or whatever the terminology is? You have somebody you can call and just say, man, this didn't take, and I spent all this money for pepper or seeds or whatever.
Yeah. So the Facebook pepper groups, there's like 3 that I belong to. The 3 that you would call helpful. Yeah. Some of them are not helpful at all. There's a lot of people you can reach out to. And, part of the thing about, selling seeds to people, one of our biggest success stories is when somebody sends me a picture of the plants they grew from our seeds. Yeah. And if you buy a seed from me, you buy a sauce from me, and you want to grow peppers and you want to ask me questions, I get Facebook messages all the time about people just having questions about seeds, about new plants.
Did you guys grow up in where you grew up at with a family that was into gardening and plants, or just something that's become a hobby of you two? I mean,
I think pretty much after we became empty nesters. It was in 2018. Our youngest son went to college, and it's like, what do we do? What do we do next? COVID hit, that kind of put a wrench in everything. But I just think it just kind of evolved.
I've always grown peppers, jalapenos, chili peppers, habaneros. But once I really found out the need for, especially super hot peppers, I was like, let's see what we can do. And then started off with just like 6 or 7 varieties of habaneros and some ghost peppers, and now. Was
there a magic moment when you just knew that I'm onto something?
So my magic moment is the end of the 2023 season. There was another hot sauce vendor who buys his peppers at the grocery store, and he reached out to me and he said, "Do you think maybe next season you could grow peppers for my hot sauces?" And I thought to myself, why would we do that when I can just start my own hot sauce company? So yeah. That's where Plant Some Kindness hot sauce came from my need not to help somebody else out, but to help us out.
Honesty is great. Did you have one? Was that yours or?
Yeah, I think so.
What about when he told you he was going to no longer work full time and only go to part time work and make this really more than just a hobby?
Actually, it was my idea.
Really?
Yeah, just because of the work, the balance, the stress, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's try you going down to part time and see how it works. And I think it's going to be a great.
So you went part time to work 7 days a week, basically.
Right. Since I was working 7 days a week, 2 jobs. So I have a very stressful job as a nurse, so I'm a charge nurse. So
Yeah, but we need nurses in this world, so trust me. So there you go. A few minutes left today. How many farmers markets will you attend if you count in 1 year? Have you thought about that?
man,
Are you somewhere every weekend, basically?
yes, sometimes 3 times a week. We were previously doing a Thursday, Friday, and a Saturday. Sometimes twice on a Friday, sometimes a Friday morning or Friday night. I think we have one day where we're going to be in Monticello at Kirby Auxiliary. We were invited. There's only 30 vendors there, and then we're going to turn around and do Relay for Life in the evening. So we'll be 9 to 3 at one, and then 5 to 9 to the other. So we're going to do a double that day.
It's a lot of packing.
Yes, it is.
Actually, well, sorry. Everything that's in your backyard, have you tasted everything? I mean, so you know what it tastes?
I have not, because they're not ripe yet, but I've researched everything that I planted. Year by year, I change. I keep an eye on the Facebook groups. I keep an eye on what's selling. And a lot of my plants are planted just for seed, because I know those seeds are rare. I don't want to get rid of the peppers because there's more money in the seeds.
Okay.
So I planted those just to grow them, just to get seeds out of them.
Okay. So you've learned a lot about the business.
Absolutely. I'm learning every day.
There you go. How do you keep animals out of your backyard? I mean, you have rabbits, squirrels, or whatever else is in your neighborhood. I mean, how do you do that?
The yard's completely closed in. You would never know. It's back there. We have a 6-foot privacy fence and then gates in the front. We have a dog that won't let anything in the backyard.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So he's protected.
So, yeah. So nothing. We've never really had any animals in the backyard.
It's kind of cool. I thought maybe you'd have better, not a better answer, but a different answer.
Right.
Because it seems like, because my backyard is like every different type of varmint in the world. It seems like. So you've outgrown your backyard. So is your mom going to be okay with eventually you
She is, yeah. So being that we're a business, I was going to have her sign a contract saying, that I'm going to take up this portion of your yard. She was okay with it.
That's cool.
She's a permanent camper in the summertime, so she's never there. But we decided not to go this year, but then now definitely I think we're over there next year.
So Rachel, how is it working with your husband on a day-to-day basis in a business? So my wife won't let me have anything to do with the daycare. I've tried. What about you?
I think that we make a great team. We bounce ideas off of each other. Just with the name Plant Some Kindness, we sat down with a notebook. We're both in healthcare. I'm a social worker, so I'm all about helping people, and so is Jason. And so we wanted our business name to reflect that too. And so we just sat down with a notebook and we just started writing out names. What do we want a business to represent? And I think that's how Plant Some Kindness, we call it PSK for short, but yeah.
Anything to add? We got a little less than a minute to go.
We just kindness is our name. We do a lot of donating to local charities, silent auction items, baskets, things like that for them to auction off. Just trying to be kind to other people. We gift seeds once a month to one person on a Facebook group for their birthday. So just being kind and keeping your name out there.
So as we wrap this up, are you going to get her to try the Satan that will you try it ever?
She's doing better. She actually tried one of our peach habaneros that I made just a little bit on her fingertip and actually liked it. And it's pretty hot, but she'll never try Tears of Satan.
No.
Actually, we were on time, and I wanted to get a feel for how hot it was. So you immediately go to drink milk or what? Something wrong?
It's a back of the throat burner.
Okay.
So
there you go. Well, hey, thanks for coming in, Rachel and Jason. Appreciate it so much.